Welcome to the Ducking Review Show! On this week's episode, we'll be taking a look at Quentin Tarantino's The Hateful Eight teaser trailer. Also, absolutely anything. Not that we're going to just look at absolutely anything, although it might seem like that at times. And Strange Magic by George Lucas.
He wrote it.
Yeah, written by. We'll not talk about that right now.
We'll save that till we get there.
Any film news? Anything you've just recently seen? I recently saw Inside Out.
I've seen Inside Out.
You've seen Inside Out.
Matt hasn't.
I haven't. So
Me-
we went and saw Mr Holmes.
But me and Matt saw Mr Holmes.
Talk about that because I haven't seen it and I'm
It's
interested.
about Sherlock Holmes.
It's good.
What about compared to like what we thought about
It's
it?
pretty
In our,
much like what we said about it.
Yeah,
So, it's good.
fairly accurate.
quite emotional.
Yeah, it's a kind of like Sunday afternoon kind of way. Yeah, it's a good Sunday afternoon film.
Yeah, you could watch it with your nan.
Right. Okay.
Like, my nana will love it.
Chill out film. But not like you're not selling it to me as like this outstanding.
It's really good,
Mm.
but it's very much like
It's just a BBC film.
it's
I
kind
said
of
it was.
partially funded by the BBC. It's quite funny at times. Ian McKellen's really awesome in it, and he does some really good like kind of grumpy old man stuff in it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like faces and
Yeah.
like going and stuff.
And it does spend this time in between two time
Yeah,
periods.
yeah,
and
that's
it moves
really
around.
pronounced. Like the difference between them. Obviously, like he's playing 63 and 93. I think he's meant to be
Yeah,
age-wise. And when he's like 63, he's like sprightly, and he's like Ian McKellen. Basically, you imagine he's normally like, except he's in 1800s or early 1900s. He's got this kind of. He's like when he's old. He's old and he's trying to remember this case, his last case.
Mhm.
And like he's kind of like his doctor's giving him this diary, and he's like saying, "Oh, every time you forget someone's name, you need to draw a circle." And he's writing like people's names on his sleeve, so he don't remember the names. I mean, don't forget the names.
Yeah. His memory's always been like a part of his like. Power,
Yeah, so that's
isn't
part of
it?
his.
So
Yeah, he's losing his special power, isn't he?
dealing with mortality.
It's really, really good. Like there's a little kid in it who's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
He's good. He's good.
No, yeah, he's good. Yeah, he plays his part well.
And then the kid's mum is his housekeeper in where is it he lives?
It's like it looked like Dover.
It was
His
Dover,
white
wasn't it?
cliff.
Yeah, it was Dover. Yeah, it
That's
was.
that scene with the
Yeah,
kite, isn't there?
I don't know.
Trying to get a
Can't
kite to
remember.
fly.
I think
No, not in that.
I think it might have been in the trailer, but not in the
Oh,
film.
that's interesting. And Inside Out, I thought was really, really brilliant.
See, I saw
Pixar
that and
film,
I
you
thought it was alright. I thought it's not as good. You know, it's as good as Ratatouille.
Right, okay.
You know, Ratatouille's pretty good.
I thought it was better than that. I really did. We really did like different opinions on this film. It's good. I want Matt to see it
I need
now.
to see it now.
See,
Yeah.
because you found it more like emotionally affecting than
Yeah,
what I did. But
Hung
I
over
was
like
like,
a bitch, but
You're probably susceptible
Like,
to it. Yeah.
I went into it with this thought that, oh, right, here we go. This is going to be as good as Toy Story 3,
yeah,
right? 'Cause that's what everyone reckons. And, like, it's not. It's
It
not,
isn't.
It's not. And, like, so, it's not as good as Up. You know, like, I don't think it's as good as Up.
Up's good.
I think
Up's
it sounds
really
good.
good.
So the problem was you put it up there on a pedal stool.
I put it on a pedal stool, but it turned out to be a damp squid.
Right, Matt needs to watch it.
But it's good. It is good and it is funny, but I found it to be too formulaic in the sense that it was still a story of two kind of characters who need to get along, go on a journey of self-discovery.
There is that formulaic episode.
There's very much that
structure
to it. And
yeah.
I found it, and part of me felt as well, it is really clever, but like everyone's like, oh yeah, it's really clever and it's really accurate to how the brain works, and it's like, oh no, that doesn't necessarily, just because that's true, that doesn't mean it's really good.
Okay, yeah, but the way that it's visually imagined,
looks, yeah, like
just
smart. The way
it is smart.
It is really clever.
Yeah. Do you feel it was a bit contrived?
No, if a film is contrived, right? It's nature, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unless you're
It's the subject
making
matter.
like a documentary that is filmed like in one shot, right? then everything's contrived.
Fair
like
enough.
in films. I don't have any issue with that, but
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
It was good. It just wasn't like the best. It was in that second level. It was better than Bug's Life and Cars and films like that.
Yeah.
Not as good as Toy Stories and Up and
Okay.
Incredibles, but in that like level of it, it's like typical sort of
There's
Pixar
something
goodness.
slightly
And
more
this is the
magical
thing,
about Up.
like with Pixar, they're so good that like just the normal level of good. If that was a DreamWorks film, you'd be more impressed because it's Pixar. You're just like, yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Because there's your DreamWorks thing. It's like a poor man's Pixar. You
Well, they're not as
said
good,
in the
are they?
past.
They are no,
I
idea.
think we looked at this trailer actually originally. Right, shall we head on into our main selections? Let's look at Hateful Eight. Dun dun dun. The Hateful Eight. Will we watch it in 70mm?
Ultra Super Panavision.
Yeah. Is that,
Megavision.
we're not going to have that option. It's only a few in America, isn't it?
I don't know.
Proper film.
Yeah.
Maybe Leicester Square.
Right. Are
Well,
we
they
going?
did
Are we going there?
You sure, like, if you show it on like an IMAX screen, you can show it
Yeah.
in that sort of ratio.
They did it.
Oh, it's playing, bitches. Well, that is.
I was going to say they did it for Interstellar, didn't they?
Yeah.
A lot of the
IMAX ones
places
were.
showed it.
We won, but I mean, doesn't really matter, does it? That wasn't in 70mm. It looked good.
It did look good. Yeah, I think that is
That's
it's
like
a romanticism, isn't it, of a format? Maybe not necessarily we're going to lose anything. I just felt
It's
sad.
good that it's made. It's been shot on film. That's a good thing.
That's
He's
where I
one of
wanna
the
start,
people
yeah.
who, he's one of the last bastions of, well, I say mainstream. I don't mean mainstream cinema, but like cultural, like relevance that Tarantino has. His films are an event. It's good that people like him are still championing the filming on celluloid.
Yeah,
Same with Christopher Nolan. It's really good. It's like that.
film's
people
still
do
good,
it,
isn't
yeah.
it? Film's still.
Well, it looks different, doesn't it? And it's still an art form. It's like people still paint paintings when they could use Photoshop. So
Format debate. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't believe that format should just be discarded just because there's a new. It's many canvases to paint upon. Does it look good?
I thought. I mean, you know what? That trailer didn't really say anything, did it?
No. Written by and directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Felt like that was a given,
Most of the stuff is, isn't it?
but not necessarily so.
Do the cast. The cast is interesting. I know that Channing Tatum's rumoured to be in it, isn't he?
Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Right, so it's Channing Tatum, but he's not confirmed yet.
Walton Goggins.
Bruce Dern's in it.
Yeah.
Laura Dern's dad from Jurassic Park is in Silent Marine. He's one of the old guys in that room.
Do we need to do what?
Tim Robbins?
Tim Robbins, yeah.
What's he called? The guy who's the guy in Reservoir Dogs.
I know you mean.
Madston.
Yeah.
Thingy Madston.
Yeah.
John Madden.
John Madden. So you've got some of like
Kurt Russell.
Uma Thurman.
No, she's not in
No,
it. But Kurt
no.
Russell's in it. And the guy from The Shield.
Yeah, so good
The
cast.
guy from the Shield's in it.
Not the main guy. He's lieutenant. He was in
Oh,
that
right,
trailer.
yeah.
I think he's in Inglourious
The bald
Bastards.
guy.
Do we need to do a rundown of what Quentin Tarantino's done
Do
before?
we?
Yeah, we should.
Okay, let's
We
do
haven't
it.
mentioned like Sam Yell's in it either.
Oh yes,
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. Right, Reservoir
Looking
Dogs,
good in it.
Pulp Fiction. Well, he always looks good, doesn't he? He's mad.
Yeah.
Pulp
He's like
Fiction.
70.
Yeah. Jackie Brown, Kill Bills.
Kill the Bills.
Well, this says
Inglourious Bastards.
No, well, you're missing out Death Proof there, aren't you?
Yeah, Death Proof.
Inglourious
part of
Bastards.
the
Am I doing
Rodriguez.
in order?
Yeah, I'm doing them in order.
Django.
Django Unchained.
Jackie Brown.
Said that one.
Yeah, I'm just saying it again.
Jackie Brown.
God, don't go there.
Let's not go there.
No.
Yeah, apologies if the energy's low for this one. It was my birthday yesterday, so
We're all still recovering.
we're all a little bit recovering. That's no excuse. This should be professional
We're
broadcast.
still being professional.
We
We're just,
are.
we're like, we're doing it in the style of the radio DJ in Reservoir Dogs. You know the guy.
Oh yeah, Super Sounds of the 70s.
Yeah, Super Sounds of the
You're
70s.
listening to the
Yeah.
Super Sounds of the 70s, but you're not. You listen to this podcast.
From the
I'm a big fan of
11s.
Quentin Tarantino, but really big fan of Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. Really enjoyed Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained.
I'm more
but-
like I love like it's a bit weird, isn't he? Like Tarantino, I like most of his films. I'm not too keen on Death Proof.
It's the weaker, in my opinion.
But then that was part of a different thing anyway with the
Grindhouse.
Grindhouse.
Stuff on it,
Like yeah, like he's consistently good. I think probably like his latest stuff, he's matured. Like I think that's what it is. Like his earlier films are very
Pulp.
Pulp Fiction and Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, they're kind of. It's very much based on just the dialogue. It doesn't. You could stick any plot on those films and it doesn't really matter. Do you know?
Well, the multiple angles and the way that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
weave
no,
the
that's what he was
story.
doing.
Yeah.
That was what
That
it
was
was.
like-
But it
it's
could be
device,
any
wasn't it?
point.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could be any
Yeah.
plot. Like what he's doing. That's why the plot. Nothing really. Like Reservoir Dogs, not a lot happens in that film.
You've got some
Like
things
if
with the
you
warehouse scenes.
yeah, no, like I'm not saying like stylistically
Yeah.
or in how he did it, but if you think about what happens, they plan a robbery, it goes wrong, most people die or everyone dies.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Spoiler.
Well,
You should have seen it by now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the interesting thing is like the structure of it, and that's still something that like still happens now as well. Not so much with
Django.
Django Unchained, but in Inglourious Bastards,
It was
that
all
still
over,
had
yeah.
that sort of episodic
Multi-thread.
sort of
Yeah.
like each bit had a title, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Oh,
very
yeah, he did
Quentin
that in that movie,
Tarantino sort
yeah.
of stylistic thing to do.
But
But
this-
it's hard to
but
get much from this.
There
at
isn't
the
much.
moment.
This looks like there's a lot of people in a room.
I quite like the look of it.
I do. I like the fact it's a western. It's in the snow. I think that's like something you don't see very often. Westerns are always set
Desert.
in the desert. I
There's
mean,
the
then-
sunshine.
Quentin
It's
Tarantino's got this sort of like love of this style of film, hasn't he? The
spaghetti
yeah,
westerns.
spaghetti
I
western.
mean, like his last two films. This, if you include his three films, like spaghetti westerns. I include
Yeah,
Inglourious Bastards. That's for all intents and purposes, that's a war film, but it's a
It's
spaghetti
underlying
western,
type
isn't
thing,
it?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
very much of that ilk. I mean, whereas Kill Bill, that's his kind of kung fu movie, isn't it?
yeah.
So he's become more like in the other films. His first three films are very much like LA crime thrillers. So I like the trajectory of him going further back to his influences. I think with the spaghetti western, because he's always had that sort of flavour to his work anyway, hasn't he?
Yeah, now we're seeing it. It's all at the forefront.
Well, we say spaghetti western. It's not, because it's not shot in Italy, or that's why it'll be a spaghetti western.
Mm.
Well, where they shot in Spain? Shot in Spain by an Italian director.
Yeah.
But we say that now as though that's a genre, but that was just
It was just what they did.
what they
at the
called
time,
it,
yeah.
and it turned into a genre, I guess. But it looks really good.
When you said that, actually, I was thinking about when you said about his influence in the spaghetti westerns. You can see that in the stylistic way he frames certain things as well.
Oh
Like,
God, yeah.
when he has the
like-
dialogue scenes,
Well, you
he
look
does
at-
the classic
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of really close up
Yeah.
to people's faces.
Very,
filling the whole
you can
thing.
see like he's
Like-
so influenced by Sergio Leone.
Yeah.
Like even the end of like Reservoir Dogs were all there, and it's like a
standoff.
It's a standoff with pistols. It's
Yeah.
like that's such a Western sort of thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and the music, he's always got that.
He's always got that boom.
There's always a twangy guitar song
Yeah.
in there somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, I suppose Pulp Fiction's probably the most famous one, isn't it? With the Dick Dale.
Yeah.
thing.
Dick Dale, hey, gotta give you a Dick Dale.
There's a place in Hartlepool opened up called Jack Rabbit Slims.
Is that?
Yeah, like a diner.
Is that the the diner? Does it do this? Does it have $5 shakes?
I think it does.
Not £5.
£5, imagine
Don't
that.
be a rectangle.
Yeah.
And don't you just love it when you go to the toilet or for a cigarette and you come back and your dinner's ready? That's
Yeah.
in Pulp Fiction.
That is, yeah.
Oh yeah, she comes
Yeah.
back and it's just on the table.
She goes
Yeah.
to the toilet for a line of coke and she's pleased she's got food.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Is it? I suppose we're gonna have like other like from this film new bits of amazing dialogue as well.
Oh
I
god!
expect
I mean, like,
great characters. The
It's-
characters, I guess, we can take from this.
I mean, everyone. It looks amazing. It looks really like, as the Django Unchained, really like, just really lush looking out with the costumes and the look of it all. It's very, it's very top end, high budget, like, you know, very.
Dense, I was gonna say.
I think the
Yeah.
like production
Right.
design
Yeah.
is amazing, and the
Love
way
how it
like
looks.
you know like Kurt Russell's mustache, these
His
like
big mutton chops and a giant handlebar moustache.
I think they've all like. It looks like they've all like. I'd imagine anyway. Really enjoyed being in this and doing
of course.
this.
I mean, like Kurt Russell, he's a alumni, isn't he? From Death Proof.
Mm.
Like, he was really good in Death Proof. That whole bit, like, I don't know, a little bit spoilery, like, but when he's like crying and shit.
Oh god. Oh Jesus.
So funny.
He's a proper psychopath in that.
Yeah,
It's brilliant.
mad. I think he actually is mad as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Tim Roth.
Yeah,
Um,
I love
I
Tim
like Tim
Roth.
Roth.
Yeah,
Is he called Michael Madsen?
Michael Madison.
That's it,
Yeah,
Michael
Madison.
Madsen.
Madsen.
Samuel L.
Madison.
Jackson. Yeah, Tim Roth. I mean, them are all like, you know, going.
They're all like, sort of
Mm.
his core cast type people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
true.
interesting. Well, it's not interesting, but Christoph Waltz, first film he's done since he started working with Christoph Waltz that he isn't in, unless he is in it.
You never know, he might just pop up.
You know,
Yeah,
like because
Hello.
Glorious
in the bottom of the
Bastards,
screen.
Yeah.
and then Django Unchained. He was been both of them. Got Oscars for both of them.
He
as
might
well,
have been
didn't he?
busy doing Bond though.
Yeah, probably that'll be it, won't it?
When's this coming out?
Christmas.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So this is what I was saying to Matt actually. Like, this is, you watch Star Wars the day it comes out. This comes out like, I think, Boxing Day or something. So on Boxing Day you go to the cinema, you watch Star Wars, then you go watch this.
And you've had a brilliant day.
You've
When
had
you
like,
go home, knock off some turkey sandwiches.
Oh, that sounds good.
yeah.
I
So
want that to
you
be
get
my
your
Boxing Day.
your
Is that what we're
second-
doing?
Well, we'll all be in different places.
We'll meet up at the cinema.
All right.
We bring our own turkey sandwiches, swap a
Tinfoil.
couple around,
Yeah.
try each other's turkey sandwiches out.
stuffing and,
Yeah. Gravy in a flask.
Gravy in it, until it's still warm.
Yep.
I mean, this trailer doesn't show much, does it? I mean,
No,
it
it's a
shows a
teaser.
lot, but it's a couple of. Is it a minute long? Minute and a half?
I was really looking forward to this teaser coming out. So yeah,
I've always seen something, and this is a film though that like it wasn't going to make, isn't it? Because the script
got
got
to
leaked.
mention that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the script got leaked, and he was like, "It's like he's done me out of
Fuming.
it."
He was not happy, was he?
Mm.
Well, yeah, because it must have. He said it was somebody from within the studio. Like,
Yeah.
Well, there'd been someone who he'd been sending it around on it
Yeah.
to try and get it all made and everything.
which is bad. I
Mm.
can understand why he was cross. I mean,
It is when it's Quentin Tarantino.
jeopardizes the whole like thing, doesn't it?
yeah,
this whole like you know like
it's rude.
one of the a really like auteur sort of director, isn't he?
Yeah, which is probably
Writer, director, like very much his own style of filmmaking.
a type of genius there at work,
Mm.
which is hard to. There's a few around at the moment. But
It's
I
funny,
I
I
do
mean,
think
like-
he's one of the best.
He's consistently good.
I think that's why we're so excited. I'll be absolutely gutted if, obviously, it goes without saying, if this is bad.
It doesn't look like it will be, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It just looks like a Quentin Tarantino film. What I like is that this is his 8th film, like, since in 20, when did Pulp Fiction come out? 91? 92?
94.
Not Pulp Fiction, sorry, Reservoir
Oh,
Dogs.
92.
92.
Yeah.
So like 23 years, and he's only done 8 films. That's like, takes his time.
There was a lot of time,
Yeah.
though, wasn't there, before Inglourious Bastards came out after...
Death Proof.
Yeah.
There was a
And
massive
Death Proof
amount
wasn't
of
even
time.
like that was like kind of a side project, wasn't it? Where it was meant to be part of something else.
So I guess what you're saying is true. Like, there is this. He takes his time. He really cares. Somebody we can trust with it. Should we bring that round to some kind of anticipation score, or difficult to do?
It's hard with this one. I'm just gonna say 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it doesn't matter what that trailer looked like. It looks good. I like the trailer. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It's a new Quentin Tarantino film. I will go and see it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, I know what you mean.
It's like if Stanley Kubrick was still around, I'd treat him the same. Like,
Yeah.
God, that's such high praise.
You know...
I'm not saying he's as good as Stanley Kubrick, but like he's one of them people who I will see everything he does, and like because he's an auteur and he's interesting. He's Christopher Nolan. Like, I'll watch everything he does. Like Spielberg, although I wouldn't always go to cinema to watch a Spielberg film, but because he does a lot of films. And like sometimes I'm not bothered about Warhorse, like, but I'll watch most things that he does. Scorsese's another one. He's in that bracket of directors where it's like, well, is he making a film? Yeah, he is. Cool, I'm interested. So
Definitely. Matt?
Yeah, probably 5, to be honest.
I'm the same. I think everything you just said, like, absolutely sums it up.
It's almost like when you
5.
see his name above a title, you're like, well, that's going to be good, isn't it?
I'm
it's like a badge
interested.
a seal of approval type thing.
Yeah.
Mark of quality.
It's like when you see
Nintendo.
Mr. Kipling's name above a cake.
Exceedingly good movies.
Yeah. Top marks.
So yeah,
Right.
so that's the Hateful Eight.
The Hateful Eight. Okay, next, let's go into absolutely anything.
Oh.
Right, absolutely anything. Featuring Simon Pegg. Hey. Directed by Terry Jones.
Yeah.
Cool.
Monty Python's Terry Jones.
Yep. Written by Gavin Scott. Screenplay and Terry Jones.
Who's Gavin Scott? What's he done?
What's Gavin Scott
Who's
done?
Gavin Scott and why should I care?
Right. I'll show you.
Tell me.
Gavin Scott looks a little bit like... You tell me who he looks a little bit
It looks
like.
a bit like that North American who wants to be president.
Oh, I thought... Donald Trump?
Yeah.
No, he does. I thought he looked like Michael Caine.
Oh, well, the way
a little bit, actually.
the way the screen was to me, it looked like Donald Trump. I had like black thing.
Right.
Did he write Small Soldiers?
Yep. Known for Small Soldiers, The Borrowers, and The Mists of Avalon.
Just lots of tiny things.
Local note for you guys and me, I suppose, to a certain degree. Born in 1950, Kingston upon Hull, Yorkshire.
What's that
England.
got all to do with me or Matt? We're not from Yorkshire.
Yeah, but we live round here. It's
I
nice.
just said none of us are from Yorkshire.
No.
Yeah.
Well.
We're just bloody stuck here.
Oh. Okay.
I joke.
Okay. Yeah. The Borrowers, Small Soldiers. These
All tiny men.
kind of things. I'm not. Yeah, it is, isn't it? They're all about tiny people. He's done some stuff. I mean, nothing that really like
Jumps out.
interests me, to be honest. I suppose Terry Jones.
Terry
That's
Jones.
More of an interest. There he is, texting in.
But apart from Monty Python, what's he actually written that's any good?
Terry Jones written things.
Or directed?
I thought you were gonna know more.
I've not done any research, have I?
Oh, wow, okay.
Behind the curtain there.
Monty Python live mostly.
Yeah,
You said
yeah.
apart from that.
Apart from
Okay,
Monty
okay,
Python, what's
okay.
he done?
The Surprising History of Sex and Love.
Sounds shit.
The Surprising History of Egypt. There's a few of these.
Oh, is this a series?
Yeah.
Right.
The Parrots.
He worked on Ripping Yarns, didn't he?
Nothing.
Right, so that's a good sign then for this film.
Because that's the thing, you look at Terry Gilliam. What's he done after Monty Python?
All sorts.
Fucking
of
loads.
shit. Yeah, Brazil.
Most
John
lately-
Cleese. What's he done? Oh, Fawlty Tower's best comedy ever. Like,
Yeah.
Fish Cold Wonder.
So you're saying this is the weaker of the...
I don't say he's
talent.
necessarily the weaker. He directed Life of Brian, but like what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
You don't
is
like him.
outside of Monty Python.
He's not done much compared to the rest.
He's not done that much. He wrote the script for Labyrinth,
Oh, right.
didn't
Okay,
he?
well,
That's something.
that's something quite cool.
Check, because I'm pretty sure he did Labyrinth.
Say for Bowie.
But then, even then, that's not got a particularly good script, apart from like that Bowie's in it.
Bowie and his testicles.
Terry Jones
Yeah,
screenplay. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
what did you? I mean, Simon Pegg's in it. It's got the voice of Robin Williams, so that must be one of the last things he'll be in.
It's the last thing he's done.
right?
Right, okay.
So that's
sure.
something,
Yeah.
you know. Like,
Apparently he's a bit hit and miss in it.
Okay, yeah,
Probably
fair enough.
understandable.
I don't like his career.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's true. That's a fair
I
criticism.
mean, I like the guy. He's great. He's been great in some really great films and
Great.
things.
Great. Actually, the whole trailer there, you just kind of summed up for me, a bit hit and miss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does look a bit
Well,
bad, doesn't it?
the one thing no one's said yet is the whole premise of the film is just Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, it is.
He's just been given sort of almighty power from on
Mm.
high to be able to command whatever he wants. to
As a
happen.
test of mankind,
If
man,
you're good
women
enough.
find.
Are-
Yeah.
Are the human race good enough?
Yeah, you're the one
it's
person
like-
who can save the human race by not being, but he doesn't know it. I suppose that's the
Yeah.
thing, isn't it? It's a bit like World's End,
Yeah, I was going to say there's a World's End element to it.
like how like he's
Oh
a
yeah, well, I was thinking World War Z. I don't know what I was thinking.
like
What?
when he's talking to the aliens and he has to like save the planet from
Yeah.
like them destroying it, and he just tells them to piss off or whatever.
It's a well-trodden
Path.
subject, isn't it? Yeah. It's been dealt with a lot.
Yeah.
Does this do... From the trailer, it doesn't look like
I mean,
it's doing anything
I
different.
thought there was some bits in it that looked pretty funny.
Yeah, well, a bit of the dog
Um,
poo.
No,
Dancing.
that was no. I can't even remember now. But
The undead bit.
that was good. I
Yeah.
imagine
Yeah.
that might be good. But is that just going to be like a not South Park, a Family Guy style
Like, cut away.
cutaway? It's a 1 minute gag and then that's it.
Might be just lots and lots of them, which could
I
be
imagine
quite
that's
funny.
what it's going to be.
There's going to be a montage, isn't there, where he goes,
But you know
do
when
this, do that,
yeah.
do
When
that.
I was watching it and I was thinking,
Make a
you
good
know,
film.
If this film was like a Monty
man.
Python sketch, it would be better.
Obviously.
Like if it was in the 60s.
Right.
And it didn't have like all the modern day stuff, and the effects weren't as good, and it looked crappier, and it looked like it had been made for hardly any money. It would be
Yeah,
better.
Yeah, like Life of Brian.
Loads of stuff.
Well,
Like,
Life of Brian looks really good,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, I do think that because I was thinking, yeah, Terry Jones, Monty Python dudes at the beginning, all these like CGI fucking weird things. Wouldn't it have been better with just like
drawn or like cardboard cutouts. On the
yeah,
stage?
like Terry Gilliam style like animation. Wouldn't that have just been better?
I think so, just because of how weird it would have looked.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been good. Like, it's one of those things that like Monty Python is really good,
Well, I love Monty
and it's,
Python.
but
This didn't look as good as Monty Python.
no, it
No.
didn't.
But
But
then there's the dynamic of the group. But they're in it.
they're in it. But like, I'm
They're
trying
only
an
bit parts.
analogy to it because like of the connection, but like it looks like it's going to be a bit like a sketch show. It's going to have lots of little ideas in it, and it's got.
Yeah.
Looks like it's got fairly decent budget. It's got some fairly famous people in it.
Mm.
So it's gonna be a bit
But
of a
I don't know how
middling-
well it's going
a
to hang
middling film.
together. You know, I think. Don't know. Just it didn't.
just
It didn't.
looks like a bit of an easy film, doesn't it? Like it's just a sort of run of the mill. He's a funny for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing stands out about it.
It looks like a
It's
typical.
not Adam Sandler, but it's not
It looks like a typical Simon Pegg comedy.
like
It's-
Run Fat Boy Run.
It's like
yeah, or how to
Simon
lose your
Pegg.
friends and alienate people.
Yeah.
or-
it's
Not-
Simon Pegg without Edgar Wright.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So it's not going to be really good.
Pegged the right.
Pegged to
It's
right.
just gonna be-
Pegged to rights.
It's not going to be pegged to rights. It's just going to be pegged.
Do you think
clothes
Simon
peg.
Pegg just plays this same sort of character in
Pretty
everything
much.
that he's in?
I think
Is that a harsh criticism?
no.
No. Started in space, didn't it?
Yeah,
Mm.
brilliant.
I don't think like he basically does play the same character and everything, because he's not like because he's your go-to kind of. He's not like got movie star good looks. You know what I mean? He's a normal-looking guy.
Yeah, he's your.
Um,
Who's the?
He's just like the British nice guy.
Yeah, do
The
you know what
button
kind of
and
reminds me
everything.
of? You know the guy in the American Office that plays.
Jim.
No, the main guy. Oh, mental block.
Steve Carell.
Yeah, kind of reminds me of a British.
Oh, no,
Steve
he's not
Carell in a
that.
way that he's just this regular guy that.
Oh, because like Steve Carell, you think what's he most famous for apart from The Office?
Being
And
really
the biggest
funny.
idiot ever in Anchorman.
Anchorman, yeah. He's really good in the Office though.
Yeah, he is.
He's supposed to be really good in that Foxcatcher
Yeah.
as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the coach. That's like really serious and dramatic though.
I'd like to see.
Well, even in
that.
like Star Trek, he plays the same character just with
Yeah.
a Scottish accent.
Yeah.
So
Um,
this is Simon
In fact,
Pegg.
the only films that he doesn't play the same character in are fucking Hot Fuzz and
Yeah, Ed Wright films.
and
Yeah,
The
Edgar
World's
Wright.
End. He plays the same character in Shaun of the Dead,
Yeah.
but in Hot Fuzz he's
like the
he's an
hard
action
nose.
hero style
Yeah.
character, and in The World's End he's a fucking mental drug addict man.
He's really good in that, isn't he? He does have a bit more depth to him as an actor.
Yeah.
Well, he's like a sort of a. In that one, he's just a guy that's never grew up, isn't he? He
Yeah.
still thinks he's a teenager, just taking those
It
drugs.
plays with like
trying
loads of
to-
heavy issues, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Emotional hook. This seems to be lacking anything that seems to be on that level.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
I guess,
thing.
well.
Every time you watch a film,
Thank you, Matt. It is lacking substance from what I can see.
Whenever you watch, whenever you watch like a Simon Pegg film, you can't help but think about like the stuff he's done with Edgar Wright.
Yeah, always, definitely. They're things
No,
to
when you
stand
do
out
things
so
that are that
much.
good,
Yeah, they're brilliant. The Cornetto trilogy is amazing. So your point being, you're always going to compare
yeah.
this with that, and it's-
But you're going to compare it to Monty Python.
Yeah.
so two really high things to
Yeah.
compare it to, and for me, doesn't deliver at all.
No.
Not even close to it. Should
I
we
don't even know if I'd watch it on Netflix.
I don't think I'm going to watch it unless somebody like you or Matt go watch it. It's actually
No,
really
I might
good."
watch it on Netflix,
Maybe.
but I'll put. It's one of those you put it on my list, and then like if you
You'd
really-
never get to it.
Yeah, you
you
never
just keep
get
adding
to
stuff
it.
in front of it.
And then you delete your list because it's Halloween again,
Yeah.
and you got to fill it with Halloween films.
Oh, I thought you were going to drop a plug then.
No,
Yeah.
but we will be doing a horror film special.
two
Thanks,
horror
Matt.
film specials.
Two. So we're
It's
going to.
two
What's the
Two-parter.
first one going to be?
Two-parter.
Like, we know what films we've got.
The Exorcist. Can we do it? Yeah.
We could do it in
Order.
your order, yeah?
Exorcist and Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, well, we'll give that.
We'll
some
work it
thought.
out.
The films we're going to look at, we know for sure.
Exorcist, Evil Dead
Exorcist,
2,
Evil Dead 2,
28 Days Later,
Yeah.
Babadook.
Babadook. So we're
Get
going to
them
talk
watched.
about them. A special bonus podcast like we did last time when we did the 80s action
Extravaganza.
retro duck.
We'll
did
call
some
it
of
a
that.
real horror show.
Yeah, the real ducking horror show.
Really ducking scary.
Anyway,
Ducks from the Crypt.
we'll work on that, and I like that. Yeah, okay, there. And that we'll be doing that soon, in time for October, winter.
We're doing 2
Halloween.
episodes of it. That's
Yeah.
what we're planning.
Yeah.
Over the course of
Two-parter.
October.
Unless we just really get into it.
Well, we can't because October's only
and then it's
4 weeks
Christmas. Oh god, anyway, we're not going there.
We'll do Christmas films anyway. Yeah.
So, should we score this? I can't remember the tenuous link
Yeah.
I just made. Do you want to score this? I've got
Right.
nothing
Well,
else
what's
to
it
say
called
about
again?
it. Absolutely
Absolutely
anything. Lee
anything.
can't even remember what it's called. Totally
Yeah.
not asked.
2.
2, yeah, fair enough. 'Cause
It's not like it doesn't offend me.
No.
No.
It's a shame because like you get all these names that are on it, and you're like, oh yeah, that might be good. But then like, and then you know, like when you watch a trailer, especially for a comedy, they put a lot of the good jokes in, and they weren't all good jokes.
No.
So, like,
If it's the most distilled,
So-
like, purest version of like.
so if that's like all the good jokes. There's about 3 of them.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah, I was gonna go Midland, but I'm just not bothered about it at all. So yeah, I'd probably go 2.
Went
Yeah,
from the
as well.
dizzying excitement of the
Hateful
Hateful Eight.
Yeah, it mightn't have
to-
sounded like we were in dizzying fits of excitement, but
we were.
we are.
We are.
This
We're
is
just
new
quite,
style.
quite subdued. It's this new style of pod we're doing.
It's not. This is a
Right.
one-off. Like,
Radio
we're
4.
hanging.
It might be
Radio-
better. People might like this more.
We
Yeah.
did say last podcast we were going to make more of an effort to start looking at some sort of more
Interesting.
less Hollywood blockbustery type films.
This week is a bit of a struggle because there's not that much coming out really. So
Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle because of last night. Anyway,
and that.
I'm going to give it 2. There's not a lot in it for me. It didn't reel me in. Like you said, we compare it to that Simon Pegg, Edgar Wright, and Monty Python, and it's not there for me. No, I don't know. It just looks boring. Actually,
Yeah.
it's 85 minutes long.
It's not even an hour and a half.
Yeah,
Because
It's probably good.
That'll
Yeah.
include the credits as well.
yeah,
80 minutes.
So it'll be like 80,
80
minutes.
minutes. Wow.
5 minutes of jokes. 80 minutes of shit.
Absolutely anything. Right,
Not
a
to
resounding
Absolutely
2.
anything but good.
Right, okay.
Strange magic.
Strange magic from the mind of George Lucas.
Fucking hell.
From
Um,
the twisted, weird little woodland mind that is Lucas.
We don't like what's in your mind, George Lucas, because what's in your mind is don't release the original Star Wars trilogy as untouched, but
Really massive.
Yeah.
Untouched, but touched.
yeah, but touched, lightly touched,
Coloured in.
gently touched, how you might
Caressed.
touch a beautiful, delicate flower.
Just to make it look nicer and sound better.
As you slam it
But
between the
not
book.
to fucking
Press it, thing. Preserve
Sure.
it forever.
Mannequin Skywalker's
Mannequin.
voice.
Mannequin
Yeah.
Skywalker. Are we slightly like resentful of anything now because of that reason? That
George
we
Lucas.
just-
Right, well,
just
he wrote
because of
it.
him?
Who directed it?
Well,
Who's responsible for this?
who's responsible for this?
Yeah.
Is a damn good question. The animation looks good. I'll say that.
It's very
Wow.
DreamWorksy.
Directed by Gary Rydstrom.
Don't know.
That's such a cool name. And written
Gary.
by Gary Rydstrom. Or yeah, it's a good name.
Oh my God.
Irene Meshy.
Mesher.
I don't know these people.
Nope.
That's probably down to
This is the
you
thing.
know loads of stuff, and you don't know these people.
No, exactly.
Are they from ILM?
Could be. Right, do you think, right, it's like, oh, George Lucas wrote the story, that this person directed it, air quotes, but actually George Lucas just picked a fucking yes man.
It looks like it because you've just got Toy Story Toons, Hawaiian Vacation, obviously a short, and the 2006 Academy Award nominated short films animation. That's going to be like,
Probably that.
yeah, that, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing here. Honestly, there's nothing here.
Right, let's
He's
talk about...
look. He's a studio guy, sound department.
Right.
And he's directed it.
So, yeah,
Yeah, so, I mean, it's one of those things, like this...
kind of
how
like
much-
a ghost thing.
How much has George Lucas had to do with this film?
Matt, what did you say it reminded you of?
I didn't.
Oh.
I remembered halfway through. It reminded me, did you ever see the cartoon Okie Doke?
No.
Okie doke. No.
Where it was like made from like bits of tree and shit. And he was all like, I think it was stop motion-y.
No.
Oh, it reminds me of that.
Well, you know what? It looked like... There's two... Like, there's singing... There's like... looks like a lot of singing
Is
in
it a
this
musical?
film. It looks like
Looks like it.
Glee.
Yeah, it does.
Big
Yeah.
karaoke style singing.
Reminded me of like Shrek a bit.
It did
Yeah.
remind me of Shrek, as sets.
The second, no, the
So,
weird
not
third or
funny at
fourth.
all. Yeah.
ones.
Shrek 9.
Yeah, Shrek 9, straight to DVD, keep your kids quiet.
Yeah. In the car when
Well,
you're driving to bloody
you can see
France.
they're trying to be a bit like Shrek.
What did it say that me and you both laughed at the start? Like when two worlds, and it was like the mysterious and the magical.
The fucking magic world and the mysterious world. What about the fucking normal world where the fucker else lives?
What are these two things that I think
The mysterious.
the same thing.
And
They're
the
the
magical.
same.
Isn't magic quite mysterious?
I don't know. Like,
Yes.
right, this film.
in its nature.
Like, I urge everyone to watch the trailer for Strange Magic because we can't really describe it.
I don't trust it.
Like, you can't describe what it looks like because it looks like
A mess.
I don't know what it looks like. Man.
I think it looks a bit confusing.
Like I said as we were watching the trailer just then, when I first tried to watch this trailer, I said tried. I got halfway through it and I was like, "Wait, is that it?" And I paused it. It was like, "Oh no, you're halfway through." And I thought, I just can't be bothered to watch the rest of this trailer. Like,
It's nearly 3 minutes long, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a trailer, which
how long's the film?
Oh, that's such a good question. And
Trailer's 3 minutes.
the film is
60 minutes.
Yeah, 99 minutes.
See, that's actually quite long for kids' animation as well.
Yeah, it is.
Well, especially one that looks this shit.
I'm not feeling it. Like some of it,
I feel something.
Something feels suspicious. Like
I feel
it's just
angry
this
about it.
cash-in kind of thing. I don't know. Like they just want money from the children,
yeah.
When's it out? Is it out this Friday?
and it
Next
is
Friday.
going to be out when it's
Bank
released.
holiday weekend.
21st of August. Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
did
it's
you notice at the end of the trailer we saw, it came out 23rd of January in America.
We've had nothing about it.
We've heard nothing about it.
I didn't even know that.
Right, so it's one of those films, it's pure
One
shit.
review
It's
of
so
it.
shit.
Told you it's a slow
Right,
week.
so they had to like bring it out in America. It was stank so much you had to wait like 9 months for the fucking stink to go, and then so they could release it over here and trying to make the most money out of it. Because if it released soon close enough to it, we'd have been like, yeah,
It would have completely bombed it. Opening weekend.
5 million gross, 12 million.
So
Is
bad.
that to date?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
All in America.
And animation as well, it cost a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
it looks nice.
yeah,
That's the
look
thing
really
is,
good.
the animation it looks quite good, and it's got that almost sort of, do you know when they do the face tracking and
Yeah.
stuff? It looks like
Yeah.
they've done that on it.
Do you reckon it's just
You
something?
fancied the little elf girl, didn't you?
No, I didn't say that.
Do you reckon this is like part of George Lucas's deal of selling to LucasArts to Disney?
What, you can only make shit films?
No, like he really wanted to make this film, and no one would let him make it. And he said, like, "Disney, yeah, you can buy Star Wars, but you got to let me make this film. It's going to be really good." So, okay, George.
Alright.
And then, like, you know, it's like, you know, the small print of the deal that he gets to make this fucking atrocity.
What happened to him, man? Just burnt out. Genius
I think,
at a certain point.
like-
and just lost it.
He, Star
Yeah.
Wars, like, fucked him up, didn't it? Like, the first Star Wars film, he wouldn't direct another film after that, so he wouldn't direct another film again.
Yeah.
He lied.
Of course he did.
But, like, you know,
lied.
that experience must have affected him.
Mm.
Massively.
And then,
like
like,
this
it
is
could-
inside his mind now.
He's a little woodland man.
Yeah.
Made out of nuts and things.
And it's like, Star Wars took so much out of him that he keeps adding, like, more and more shit into it to make it worse. Like, I fucking hate you, Star Wars. You most of all, New Hope.
What you mean? Like he's like created Star Wars into this physical thing that he hates,
Yeah.
and that he's just got to spend his whole life devoted towards ruining it.
Perhaps.
Feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks. Oh. Well, that's going to be a nosebleed. Okay.
You poke yourself in the nose.
Yeah, just poke a stick up my nose.
Take it.
That's what this Adverse trailer's done to me. Do we need to talk more about it?
I don't know, what is it? Like, I can't even describe anything that happens in it. Like,
There's not really any semblance of a story.
no, it's just a load of bits of singing, some fairies, some
Dancing.
monster men, some shit.
If you went round a friend's house, Martin's, this would be on the telly,
Would it?
the little kids watching it.
Right.
You wouldn't think anything of it. You'd look at it and go, "Oh, not a I'm not like Aeroplanes 3 or whatever it's called, Planes 4. That kind of thing that we're saying, Shrek 9, you wouldn't think anything of
Straight
it.
to DVD, don't worry
And then
about
if Martin went, oh, it's George Lucas, you'd be like, what?
No.
What?
No, George Lucas wrote
Big at
this.
IMDb, I don't believe it. No.
George Lucas, the same man who wrote Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, not George Lucas. George Lucas who wrote Phantom Menace.
His evil twin! Oh, he's killed the original George Lucas.
Took his place.
Yeah,
There's
oh
the
my
South Park
god.
storyline.
I know what I was going to mention, nothing to do with this. Do you know what links Flight of the Navigator and Short Circuit together?
80s.
Apart from the years that
George
they were released.
Lucas.
No, John Travolta.
What, he's in both of them?
No,
Produced them?
no.
Wrote them?
Touched both
It's
of the
more,
starring gentlemen.
as you would say, tenuous than that.
Like, he's seen them both?
Not as bad.
He walked past
Not
the
as bad
set
as
while
that.
they were being filmed.
The director of Short Circuit
Was fingered by John
Um,
Travolta.
directed Saturday Night Fever,
Right.
and the director of Flight of the Navigator
Directed Grease.
directed Grease.
Right.
Oh.
And they came out in the same year.
What
Flight
do,
of the Navigator and Short
they?
Circuit. Isn't that weird?
What do you prefer? I prefer Flight of the
Flight of the
Navigator.
Navigator, hands down, without a doubt.
Hands down my pants.
Yeah, I can watch that film quite a lot of times. I
Yeah.
did as a kid. Shall we score Strange, Tragic, Magic?
Yeah.
Strange but tragic.
Begrudgingly, I'm going to give it a 1.
Right, because you have to.
Yeah.
We know that. Right.
We're all going to do the same scores tonight, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm going to say 1 because it
One.
looks terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish I hadn't something more to say about that. My fact about John Travolta was more interesting than this whole film. 1, because we have to.
Yeah.
3 out of 15, that's bad.
Yeah, isn't it?
That sounds worse than 1 out of 5,
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
it?
yeah, it really is. I think the next show we do is going to be a lot more exciting, a lot more interesting
Right, what's
in
wow.
terms of what we're going to look at.
What are we looking at?
We don't know, but it's got to be better than that. It's
Yeah.
not
I
hard,
don't know,
is it?
Hateful Eight.
Yeah, Hateful Eight was really good. Oh, I was going to
Started on a
mention...
high and it all went downhill.
It
from
did,
there.
we should have ended maybe. No, get the energy out of the way, what we had left.
Yeah, what energy?
Do you remember the last Western film that we looked at? Was it
Slow
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 West, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
to buy?
I'm really looking forward to watching that,
Yeah.
and also the Hateful Eight.
Mm.
You've been listening to the Ducky Review Show.
You can tweet us at duckingpod. You can email us at theduckingpodcast@gmail.com. Email us if you want. You could say things like, stop getting really drunk the night before you do the podcast because you just sound like you're hanging.
Yeah.
You could say things like that. We would say, we don't care, wouldn't even reply. You can also, did I do that one? Yeah, you can also check out the shows at theduckingreviewshow.com. It's a really good website. We're going to put more content on there as well. And it's nearly the end of summer.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
I say, we'll be doing our
September
horror thing.
is kind of summer still, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
especially
Not
for me,
for the
as
kids.
when I go on holiday.
Oh yeah, you're off on holiday.
Whoa! I'm
Whoa.
going to eat pizza.
Right. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.